Though we may not be getting Girlfriend 32 here in 2024, we're actually probably looking at around early to mid-February for that, we are hitting the next chapter milestone of chapter 200 before the end of the year, and before season 2 of the anime starts, so that's exciting. But I'm not expecting any kind of big revolutionary chapter with big reveals or anything of the sorts. The 100th chapter page celebration was just the author and characters thanking us, the readers, for, well, reading, and I'm expecting something similar. Except now we have like double the girlfriends since then to thank all of us for supporting the series. At least maybe we'll get to see all the newer girlfriends in those celebratory dresses. That'd be fun. Anyway, we still got 2 more chapters before that, including this one. I'm Moonlight150, and this is my overview of the latest 100 Girlfriends manga chapter, Chapter 198, The Theater of Thrills and Violence. Let's just hope there isn't a chandelier falling on anyone this time around. As always, I encourage you to support the official release as they become available in your area, as well as supporting the Scanlation team that brings us these chapters every week, by visiting where they post them. Now, let's all go to the lobby! The chapter opens on our favorite school rooftop where everything seems to be normal, with everyone chatting it up as we focus particularly on new girl Nemu, along with Uto and Rin listening in. Here we see Nemu recalling the events of the previous Flirty Day chapter where Rentaro took her on a date to go ride roller coasters, and we see the residual effects that, yes, she has now become a thrill seeker, looking for the next thing to get her heart pounding. And I gotta ask, is this the first time something that happened in a daily life segment is mentioned or applicable to a regular chapter? I feel like it is. The only one I could find is the whole pain go away thing between Akko and Sue that started in a daily life segment, and it appeared in a regular chapter, but that's more of a running gag than any kind of character development. Well, there goes my only saving grace from the counting video where I said daily life segments were kind of in their own little bubble and we can just ignore them from the timeline. Throw that out the window. And while we're at it, gonna throw out my original prediction video for season 2 because, well, that is clearly out of date as I was wrong on just about everything. Ugh, live and learn. After hearing this need to get the blood pumping from Nemu, Rin has taken an interest in her, but due to her shyness regarding her violent interests, she doesn't say anything to Nemu, which Mama Hakari notices. Also, I want to call out how interesting it is to see Hakari being all motherly like this with Kasuri. Like, we've only seen her like this with, like, Chio mostly. It's kind of a nice little bit of development for Hakari, who feels like she has been stuck in her niche of horny girlfriend for too long, taking over the role of group mom since her actual mom doesn't actually really do that anymore. Hakari catches up with Rin in the hallway and asks what was bothering her. Rin confesses that she thought she would bring up watching violent films to Nemu to see if that might stimulate her newfound interests, but she admits she was nervous to bring it up due to the stigma of being a lover of violence. I mean, I kinda get it. I'm pretty embarrassed talking about how I'm a 32-year-old adult male who makes videos about a Japanese comic book about a bunch of high school girls all dating the same guy. Same, but different, but still same. Though, listen Rin, you've got 30 other girls and your boyfriend who are accepting of you smacking Iku's ass on the regular. I doubt you've got much to fear talking to people in that group about your interests. Though I will agree there is a social anxiety of asking someone and they only accept because it would be awkward to turn down the offer. Sometime later, or possibly the same day, Karane is out shopping for cute clothes when suddenly Nemu, in sleepwalking form, pops up behind her. Nemu recommends Karane gets a cute little hair bow for herself, but old habits die hard as Karane blurts out how she isn't happy that the bow looks cute on her. But this tsundere outburst is enough to wake Nemu out of her slumber, and now not knowing how to handle the situation, Karane takes Nemu to go get crepes. Which, I think at this point, it's safe to say Karane's favorite food might be crepes, since this is the second time she has gone out for crepes, the first being with Shizuka. Add that to the wiki. That's another daily life segment bit of character development seeping into regular chapter stuff. We're breaking a lot of new ground here, people. While on the way to get crepes, with another showing of just how tall Nemu is for a middle schooler, Nemu notices a poster for Blood Zombie The Final Chapter 3. Must be from the same people who made Attack on Titan The Final Season Part 3, given that kind of title. Karane notices Nemu checking out the poster and asks if she's a fan, but Nemu just admits she's scouring for her next adrenaline hit, and seeing a movie in theaters usually doesn't do it for her, but says she's never done a scary or violent movie, so maybe that would satisfy her bloodlust. That night we see Hakari and Karane chatting on the phone, and this just kind of blows my mind. How have we not seen anything like this before in 198 chapters? I have so many questions. I mean, I know we knew that they had that group chat, but I figured that's just mainly used to mass send out info. And we know Rentaro regularly messages his girlfriends like Usa-chan, but we have never really seen anything like this, and now I want more. Like, we all know they have this special Rentaro's family thing, but to actually see them do stuff like call each other at night and chit-chat like friends is so wild to me. It's always the chapters that completely disregard the whole premise of the manga, and instead just follow the misadventures of these characters away from Rentaro that are becoming some of my favorites. The fact this manga can so easily and masterfully just leave its initial premise at the door is so fun. Like, you show this whole chapter to someone, no one would know it's a harem manga, and the fact that every single girl shown here is dating the same guy. I need more of this. I need to know who else regularly chit-chats with one another outside of school and outside of the rooftop hangout sessions. Anyway, going back to what's actually going on in the manga, Hakari and Karane talk about their simultaneous instances between Nemu and Rin, and being afraid to talk to one another about seeing the gory movie with each other. And being their senpais, they decide to step in. They use the excuse that they both accidentally bought a pair of movie tickets, and don't want them to go to waste and invite Nemu and Rin along. And I hope Hakari just bought all 4 of those tickets because she's rich, she could afford it. Don't go making Karane pay for those tickets for this stunt. At the theater, and oh my goodness, look at these outfits. Karane is back to her awesome leather jacket that we have seen a few times, and look at my precious girl Rin, she's so cute. Hold on, I haven't used this clip in a minute because Rin has been kind of out of the spotlight. Ah, here it is.
Beautiful! Man alive! That's my daughter, bitches! Dad's very proud.
And I can't get over how sheltered Bible study girl Nemu always looks outside of her school uniform, with this long conservative dress and vest. But the longing for sleep strikes as Nemu is fighting off the urge to fall asleep even before the lights have dimmed. I mean, I get it. My local theater just installed recliners. It's a game changer. I could fall asleep in them too. Thankfully, Rin is there to keep Nemu awake by talking with her about the film, as well as pulling out a pamphlet that she acquired, which has been blurred out for the safety of us as the reader. But seeing these graphic images stirs the feelings that Nemu has been searching for as her drowsiness washes away, much like blood down a shower drain. And our new adrenaline junkie and baby shark are now fast friends as they bond over 101 ways to mutilate a human body. Aw, what a nice family we got here. A family of 2 moms and their 2 daughters enjoying grotesque violence. The movie starts and blood and guts are splattering everywhere, making Nemu's eyes light up and Rin get all giddy, while their moms are having the worst time ever. Squinting through all the violence, Hakari and Karane find themselves holding hands, but this is nothing compared to everything else they've done. And not wanting to appear soft in front of their juniors, they help one another fight off from shrieking by doing things like shoving popcorn and drinks in each other's mouths, until eventually the violence is too much to handle for either of them, so they both turn towards one another, hoping the other will do something, and they end up locking lips, because that's totally how it works. Not so quick side note, but I want to mention something that probably has no merit, but I'm gonna pretend it does because it's my job on this channel to overthink this gag manga. The scene that makes them freak out is clearly a reference to the chestburster scene from Alien, as they talk about the zombie that was hiding in the gut of the movie character and it bursts out. They even use the phrase pregnant silence, which is a term used to describe silence before a big reveal happens. But I think we've got multiple meanings going on here. Literally a pregnant silence before something bursts out of the stomach of a character, freaking out these 2 characters specifically, Hakari and Karane, the only 2 characters who have directly expressed interest in having kids with Rentaro. Now I know what you're thinking. During the Proposal trilogy, a group of characters consisting of Yamame, Akko, Meimei, Hakari, and Kishka showed interest in kids, but I'm not counting that because that was during a montage of everyone daydreaming of married life. But when you remove that instance, Hakari and Karane are the only girlfriends to ever mention in conversation out loud wanting to have kids with Rentaro, making it a part of their character. I'm sure other girlfriends do too, but they have never outright said it outside of the married life daydreaming. Only these 2. And now you're taking the only 2 outspoken teenager girlfriends wanting to be mothers to Rentaro's children and scaring them with graphic childbirth-like imagery in a gory movie. No wonder this was the scene that freaked them out the most. Anyway, back to the actual chapter instead of my overthinking delusions. Rin and Nemu enjoy the rest of the movie as Hakari and Karane are locked in on one another for who knows how long. The movie ends and Rin and Nemu had a great time and are now talking about their favorite scenes, only for them to ask Hakari and Karane what they thought, and out they come all embarrassed and holding hands, with Rin asking why do they look like an awkward couple that chose the wrong movie for the first date. Well, sweetie, because that's exactly what happened. Wait, it's a Yuri manga?
Always has been.
Rin and Nemu then thank the two of them for the invitation and breaking through the awkwardness the two of them created about bonding over the violent stuff. Oh great, not only is Nemu an adrenaline junkie, she's a junkie who craves violence. How have we done such a 180 on this character only 3 chapters after her introduction? Instead of always being sleepy, Nemu is just always going to be on the hunt for the next violent stimulant to stay awake. The two of them then thank Hakari and Karane again, and invite them to the next time they do something like this. But not wanting to appear weak in front of their juniors, they each play it off like they weren't scared, but the other was. As you can tell by how much I talked, I love this chapter. It has just about everything you could ask for with this setup. It's got the girls spending time with one another, a new friendship formed in the family, and getting back to our roots of Hakari and Karane totally not being into each other. I'm really happy Rin seems to have found someone close in the family. She gets along with Iku due to their interests, but they were never seen further than that. She was often paired with Uto, but I think that was just for convenience sake since they were in the same grade. Which is weird since they should have more in common with both of them being musically inclined. Granted, one is definitely more than the other. But Nakamura just kind of never committed to it after Rin joined, so it's nice to see Rin actually have someone now. And it being Nemu is not what I expected. Like I said, the change this character has gone through in such a short amount of time is bewildering, and the fact it started in a daily life segment? Oh, my brain. But that will do it for me this chapter. Oh right, the preview. Looks like we're getting some Chio attention next time before the 200 special. And with something to do with a stray dog. Just please don't let it be another alien.
Buzz looking alien! Where? Ah!
I've been Moonlight150. Thank you all for your continued support for tuning in, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you all on the next upload.